Hey, what's up, DFS Rico? Coming at you with my picks and insight for this EU Masters 2-game slate on Wednesday, April 29th. It's just 2 games. I really don't like the way the EU Masters set up these slates. It could have been some really good slates, but they ended up like mashing every group into one day between Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So every group is practically going to play each other to finish out the round robin this week. So everyone in the group that's currently in like Vodafone Giants, LDLC, RGO, and DK, they're gonna each play each other on Wednesday. If you've seen on DraftKings, they have like three 2-game slates, and it's just these 4 teams constantly playing each other. Practically everyone's gonna play each other once, and then that'll be it for the group. And then we'll have the same thing Thursday, the next Group B, and then Group C, and then Group D. They'll all just play each other twice or one time through every day. So it's kind of lame. I kind of liked having like the 6-game or the 5 games slates. I really prefer those more. It's just much more different and not tying with other people's lineups. There'll be a lot of like ties in these lineups in my opinion. But just to get started, if you could subscribe, like, comment at the end of the video if you have any questions, I really appreciate it. Let's get to it though. So early on, you got a VGIA heavy favorites over Diffuse Kids. Diffuse Kids is 0-3 in the group. And Vodafone Giants is 3-0 in the group. They did play last week, and Vodafone Giants beat them. They're practically the only team. Diffuse Kids is the only team that really gave them a decent match out of all the games, but I don't see that. I think that was a fluke. Vodafone Giants has just been stomping everyone that they've been in, every match they've been in, even the second place and third place team, which is LDLC and Rogue. I mean, doing parts of their carries. Their carries have been playing really well. Pretty in the mid lane, and then Attila in the bot lane. They've been playing really, really well, which I assume is going to continue. So just early on, those are my pick is Vodafone Giants over Diffuse Kids. And I do like LDLC over RGO with barely decent favorites. But RGO is not a bad team either. If I am going to be different, that's where I would go. I probably won't play any Diffuse Kids since I only play a couple lineups. I won't play any Diffuse Kids. I'll probably play Giants in all my lineups and then just find a way to like mix maybe LDLC in some lineups and then RGO in some other lineups. Because I do like RGO as well. It's not like they're a bad team. And even the game they played against LDLC, they didn't play too bad. They just kind of through the game also. The game was close. It was like back and forth game, so it wasn't too bad. And it was a high-scoring kill game, so you always want to see that as well. So yeah, like I mentioned early on, the way I would rank them is the way they're on this list: Giants, LDLC, RGO, and Diffuse Kids. That's the same order I have them in. And some insight I'll give them just for the rest of the slate, because I'm not going to be making a video for the other 2 slates. I do expect Vodafone Giants to go 6-0 in the group, so I expect that to happen. LDLC, I think like I'm leaning that they'll lose just one more game versus Vodafone Giants. That's something I could probably feel confident in. So I think they'll end up going like 4-2 in the group. And then RGO, I think they lose against everyone except Diffuse Kids. So they end up going 2-4, and then Diffuse Kids goes winless through the entire group, is my opinion. So if you do play the other slates, just kind of do the math and just pay attention to what I said. Giants go 6-0, LDLC goes 4-2, Rogue, I believe, goes 2-4, and Diffuse Kids goes 0-6. So if you do play the other slates, just kind of know who to pick. Just some insight. I'm not playing them, that's why, but I know some people might be playing those tiny slates. Let's just run through the lanes. The Antonio at the top lane for VGIA, I don't mind him at 6.6k, but I actually prefer Bando at 6.2. If I am playing a top laner, he's probably my favorite top laner. He did have his bad game, obviously, when he played VGIA, but the last 2, he's put up over 30 fantasy points. And, I mean, VGIA has been playing... Antonio has been playing really well, too, obviously. Look at his numbers, but... I'd rather just take the savings at 400 for 400, but the agenda, I don't mind him as well if you are going to be playing the RGO way, like I said. Junglers, The way I'm going to rank them, I like Tinks a lot at 7K for slightly cheaper than Llama Bear. But Llama Bear has shown that upside with the 40.6 fantasy points and 54.6 fantasy points. Like, they've been dominating this group. Diffuse Kids did slow him down. Like you see, he only scored 20 fantasy points against him, but I think they'll break out and destroy them this game, honestly. I don't think DK has any chance, honestly. Scroll down the mid lane, you got Pretty, like I mentioned earlier. The carries for VGIA have been doing really, really good. Practically over 40 fantasy points in 2 of the 3 games. 5.3 kills, 8.3 assists per game. And then Vitheo for LDLC, solid at 26.3 and 27.4 in the 2 victories. Like I mentioned, Diffuse Kids seems to just be slowing everybody down. He didn't play too well against them either. They did win, but even in their loss against VGI, he played really solid as well. He's probably the most consistent spot on their roster, other than Tinks, in my opinion. Then you got Attila for VGIA at 8K, most expensive player on the slate, 43.8 fantasy points. He has the highest upsides from what he's shown in the first 3 matches, 54 fantasy points. So I do like him. Hades for LDLC has showed up all 3 games as well. 27.8 points or more even in the loss. He just played really solid. So I do like Hades a lot as well. Wu Light for RGO. Obviously, you want to include the carries if you are playing the upset, which is RGO. Like I mentioned, I'll probably have like a lineup or 2 with them, but most of my lineups will be just VGIA and LDLC, honestly. Support or dope for VGIA. 5.8K. I'd rather just save the bucks and play Yellowstar. Yellowstar played terrible last game. Sorry about that. Yellowstar played terrible last game, but I think he'll bounce back this late. X-Pro. He used to play for Fnatic for a ton of years, so he's been there. He knows what he's doing. I think he'll bounce back against RGO. I think it'll be a high kill game, honestly. Kind of like their first game. They each got a lot of kills in that first game. Mistakes for RGO. I do like him as well. One of my favorite plays for them. Just from what I've seen. I mean, he obviously hasn't done much, but he's really active on the map. From what I've seen, he's really consistent. He's putting pressure on other lanes as well. But yeah, like I mentioned, teams that I like: Vodafone, LDLC, Rogue, and then Diffuse Kids. In that exact order is the way I would play them in. But yeah, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Thanks for the support. I really do appreciate it. Thank you.